Hi guys, and welcome back to the World of Tanks Sandbox server, and today we are covering more of the maps that we didn't cover in yesterday's video. I'd just like to thank everyone for the support on that video. It's gained more views than in one day than I've gained on any other video in several weeks. Only thing I would ask, I don't really want to, but if people could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. Anyway, this is Red Shear. Wow, this is different. So yeah, in yesterday's video we covered Cliff, Malinovka, Himmelsdorf and El Haluf, and I believe that probably the best looking map was definitely Cliff. And we're going to have to spend most of the battle shutting people up, I think. But yes, hello to you too. Yes. Let's just disable all these voice messages. I don't get why they all feel the need to talk to each other. What are you, Skype or something? Bloody hell, he's got an annoying voice. So, this is the Cliff map. Is that a crashed airship? Oh, that's cool, they're all airships. Oh, bloody hell, shut up! So this is the road where you go with your heavy tank. Oh, they've sealed that up. There used to be a gap there, I think. So there's the river. Oh, that's cool. Up here now then is it supposed to be the Hindenburg? Well, a crashed airship anyway. This is where you go in your heavy tank. I love the mess that's around here. The mud on the wheels. That's cool. So this is where you go in your heavy tanks. Up here there used to be a rock and trees that of course will all have been burnt out because of the crash of the Hindenburg. That's pretty awesome. This is where this was a tank destroying spot. The tank destroyers used to climb up onto up here, which they still can by the look of it, and snipe on the tanks down there. That's pretty cool. It doesn't look anything like the original. So these buildings, it's not destructible. Damn it. Let's shut him up. Well, it's actually damaged the building. That's pretty cool. It's not really damaged it very much, but it's damaged the building. Where the bloody hell did that come from? Oh look, cool, the planes flying over. They shut you up too. So here's the river again. They've definitely made it feel more expansive. It feels like there's more to the game. What do I actually shoot all the way over there? No, I can't. Okay. But they've made it feel more real. It feels like you're playing in a more realistic style of battle. Most definitely. I think the Hindenburg, or well, whatever airship over there crashed, is pretty cool. That's really cool. Problem is, I would be explaining a few things like where things are. I mean, this village was never here before, was it? No, it wasn't. Here's dip. Is the bridge still there? Yes, it is. I would be explaining, oh, this is where this tank goes and this is where that tank goes, but I can't recognise them as easily. I'll knock him over. At least I've made this castle feel more expansive now. Rather than just a little bit of a castle. There is actually a full castle. I don't know whether I just heard that correctly, but I think I heard like crows and things. So the bridge. That building was never there before. Let's blow it up. The sunshine. So this is the tank destroying position. The problem is, I can imagine when this is coming to the game, those people who aren't lucky enough to be given access to the Sandbox server are just going to spend all their time looking at the map and not fighting. I mean, the density of the trees, I can't actually see over there. The ploughed fields, these buildings weren't, I don't think they were particularly here before. The windmill. Yes, it's unrecognisable. It's completely unrecognisable. Let's see, this tank destroy. They've definitely made these hills less steep. Very much so. It feels less steep. So that's where tank destroyer, well, heavy tanks would come round and shoot you if you're sitting up here in the tank destroying position. Oh god, there's another one talking now. Shut up. Shut up. There we go. Shut them up. So this is the tank destroying position. It feels smoother too. The maps don't look as clunky. Now this is normally where the cap is if it's a neutral base. This doesn't feel as steep. It doesn't look as steep. That airship. Right, let's see if I can get my tank positioned perfectly so I've got the airship in its whoops. And that'll be today's thumbnail. There we go, today's thumbnail sorted. Oh. Yes, yes, I had one of them and the wheels fell off. Just going to have a look at the corners of the map where Artie perhaps would be sitting. I feel that some people won't like this change that's been implemented. Well, the change that will be implemented eventually. What's the point in them doing HD maps and not implementing it into the game? I feel some people won't like it because the maps have changed ridiculously. Because I can't tell which map I'm on. Really, the only way I can tell is if I press tab, it tells me it's red shear. I mean, look, the jagged edges on the rock. They're not just rounded rocks. Somewhere I feel they're making the maps interconnect. Castles on here, there's Castle on Himmelsdorf. Oh, you can't go in here, that's annoying. Still can shoot by the trees though, so that's the main thing. They've even made the water sort of ripple in the breeze, in the puddles. So none of this was here before, none of this wall. This building I don't think was here before. Is it destructible? No. Oh, and yesterday I said in my Actually, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, if you're confused, I did make a video that was supposed to go up today, but I decided to scrap that video, and in that video I said on Abbey they added a new river, and they haven't. It's just me being thick. What planes are they going over? Can't tell. Somebody be able to tell, but I can't. I said in yesterday's video, planes aren't the speciality of mine. So the thing is, the structure of the map is still the same. There's still effectively the same corridors, if you like, of light tanks go in the middle and heavy tanks go to the right or the left, medium tanks can go to the right or the left. Is he trying to shoot the planes, or is he trying to shoot the airship? The flowers fluttering in the breeze. Let's shoot them and nothing happens. Damn. Yeah, good on you. I mean, imagine if this was the game now. You cannot see across most of the map because of the trees and the density of those trees. Those planes look American or Soviet. Again, don't quote me on that, I'm a plane noob. Now, I made this... the bridge... I could have sworn this bridge ran a different way and there was more buildings round here. Cool. It's like Coronation Street. I don't know whether they're planning to have the buildings blow up when you shoot at them. I mean, with this cannon, it's like I said in yesterday's video, it's like a bloody bomb going off. Whose is this? Oh, I can't read it. I think that's restaurant. And some jargon and gobbledygook. There's another restaurant there. That building is new. Instead of just having random buildings everywhere, they've interconnected them. I can follow that road all the way to, well, back to the friendly base. So you have building, restaurant, what appears to be, well, a house that's been partly destroyed. Oh, cool, another hole's appeared in it. So the buildings are semi-destructible. Okay, that's cool. I said it's a restaurant, but it looks like an old church. And you see here I can go right or left. Now my sat-nav's telling me to go right. Another restaurant. More trees. Cross the bridge. Yeah, it feel more fluidity into their maps, rather than just having buildings scattered everywhere and the roads not connecting them. The road is actually connected the entire map this time, and it's good if you don't have off-road driving on your tank, because that means you can go at full speed. They're all just killing each other. Look at the mud on the tank, the mud on the turret. They're all just killing each other now. Okay, for some reason they're getting bored and they're starting to shoot each other now. Let's go and give my tank a wash. I wonder why they're shooting each other. even know what he's doing. Oh shit. Oh dear, I think everyone's after me now. Have they just finished capping? Yes, they have. Okay, so that was Red Shear. I bloody hope that the next map isn't one of the maps that we went on yesterday, because then well, you won't notice it, but I'll have to edit the video. So I am back. Yes, I'm back. And we are going to have a look at what Sand River looks like now. Apparently it's changed quite a bit. So I feel that doesn't look anything like Sand River. It looks like it's from Aladdin. I feel that with El Haluf they have changed it to the point where it's near enough unrecognisable. It doesn't look like sand. It looks like clay or rock. Good lord. What have they done to the sand? I guess I've been in the Grand Canyon. Let's be nice and say hello. Hello! So let's have a look at what Sand River looks like. I mean, Jesus. So it's going to be very dusty, this map. Is that a mosque? I'd assume it's a mosque. So is the dried up, well, effectively it's dried up riverbed. So that's new. The mosque is new. The density of this village has changed. It's a lot more open. There's not as many trees in the village. If you remember correctly, all the dunes over here used to go very high. Now it actually feels like the desert. Cool, look at that. It's just plains and dunes of little plants growing. I think there used to be another rise here that's been flattened. Now, yeah, if you do personally know me, you'll know that Sand River is a map I cannot stand in the slightest. But they've completely changed it. Again, it's totally different to how it originally was. So that's where the heavy tanks go. This here is the corner of Fail. It's not as easy to hide around here as it used to be by the look of it. They've made it you have to go wider. So the palm trees, yeah, of course. That mosque is actually really quite spectacular on this map. It's a focal point. It's a point where you go, oh, there's the mosque. I know sort of where I am. So this is where you go if you want to use perhaps your gun mantlet. So if you're like in the T30, let's have a look. The sand's a different colour around here. Okay, so that's where yeah. This isn't as steep as it used to be, I don't think. Don't feel like it. It's like being at the bloody beach. So all the steepness back here isn't as steep. Well, apart from up there. Well, this certainly isn't again as steep as it used to be. I mean, Artie used to like hiding up here. Oh yeah, is this still blocked off with the rocks? Yes, it is. It is. At least the rocks look more real now. So the main features of the map are still here. It's still very open. There's still a little village. You've still got up here where tank destroyers like to sit and destroy tanks. Although this all used to be rock, I think, and now it's just that's pretty cool. How they've made it so it's no longer a dune. It's well a dune. I'll make it sound like a month. How it's no longer a sand dune. It's rock. That is pretty awesome. Or you go up there if you're heavy and you like to camp. Let's have a look at this village. What the hell? What's that? They're making dye or paint or what? Shame it doesn't quite go on the tank, but you can't really complain. They've changed the map so much, and they've changed the graphics and the way they work so much. It actually looks like you are fighting in a real tank. I mean, it did really anyway. It was just the maps were letting it down, but now when this gets implemented in game, I suggest don't hold me to this. I mean, Wargaming like to, well, they like to sort of surprise people. But I've got a feeling this will be out next year at some point. Maybe start to middle of next year. Because the maps still, I think Wargaming admitted themselves, they still need refining and the graphics need to be refined. But initial impressions of these new maps are that they are going to be fun. They've made a huge change to the way the lighting is produced. They've actually said that I think they took out a fancy drone and took pictures of the sky in many different places and used that as the sky in game, which is why it looks so realistic rather than it being an animated sky. So again, more palm trees, more bushes. As I said, this is far less dense. This village, there isn't as much here. Destroy some buildings. No, I don't think that hut really suits this map. This is supposed to be an eastern map, a Middle Eastern sort of map in the desert. That hut seems like it belongs on a South Asian map, perhaps. Not too sure about that one. Apart from that, it's a good map. Well, it's not a good map, I can't stand it, but it looks good anyway. So at this moment in time we've covered Sand River and we covered Red Shear. I think next one should be Prokrovka. Turret's broken. There we are, battle ended. So, ooh, the fire looked cool. Let's get on to the next map. We will go for Prokrovka and change the battle duration to probably 8 minutes. He's gone offline. Okay, let's start. Right, so Prokrovka. Another map I don't hugely like because it's very open again. There's not many places to hide, and Arty is one of the ruler of this map, because and tank destroyers, because they just sit back, wait for something to get spotted and shoot whatever is spotted. You can tell it's Prokrovka. Most definitely. So let's go and have a quick look about the place. Think is the there's a rail gun on here? I don't mean like from GTA, I mean a gun on the railway. They've made this wider. This is a lot wider than it was. This pool. So that's a lot wider. So I think the reason that, well, I may be seeming dull at the moment. I hope I'm not. Well, I can be a dull person if you really want me to be, but I don't want to be. I think the reason that I'm not acting as astounded as I did on Cliff is because Cliff was the first time I'd seen the full HD map, whereas I've seen quite a few of them now. I mean, they all look extremely good, and I think it's right of Wargaming to look at the maps, but you just lose the sense of, wow, that looks cool, after you've played a few of them. So this is Heavy Hill, where the heavy tanks go to die because they all get shot from the middle or by artillery. This doesn't feel as long, and there's not many bushes. It's more sparse in terms of foliage. So still got the lake. Wow, they've changed the field to more dead grass. If I remember correctly, these trains used to carry, was it Shermans before? They used to have Shermans on board? Let's have a quick look down here. So this is the town. Normally the cap's in here if it's a neutral base to capture. And there's my enemy friend. So that's pretty cool. They've still kept that pretty much the same there. So that's the position you can sit in your tank destroyer to shoot over there into the field. I'm being more quiet because I think the map, I can't really explain it too much. It's just best if you see it with your own eyes. Which in one way you are doing because you're watching me on it, but in another way, get yourself access to the Sandbox server, apply for it. It's well worth it. Because everyone's happy to just dick about. And because the new maps are new to everybody, you get people from the Asian server, you get people from the Russian server, the American server, all of them coming on here to have a look at the new maps. So there's another camp sort of thing up there. Dead tank. Is that Panzer IV? Panzer IV H? perhaps. That's the spotting bushes. Down here is this is where the enemy tank destroyers can sit, especially the invisible Swedish ones that nobody likes to see because they're a pain in the arse. They've made this a lot more. Jesus, it's just a collection of trees. It's like a garden centre. That's what are the fields like. They're all ploughed and dead. Are they growing wheat? Is that wheat? Can't really tell unless it's just weeds. So if I was on this map as a as the T-49, can't tell if they're German or British. So if I was spotting, I'd go like this across here, and duck back down. This is a lot less steep. That used to be quite steep there. So when you're in your spotting tanks on Prokrovka, you need to watch what could be potentially shooting you, because you're not going to be able to get out of the line of fire as quickly as you would have on the map when it wasn't HD. Here is a spot I like to come in my heavy tank. I don't like the hill. I never like the hill. You just get shot in the side constantly on the hill. So I come down here and I can provide the shooting in the side. So yeah, the buildings are still here. Well, until I demolish them and shoot them. So again, this is another map that when you're looking at it generally, it hasn't changed very much. In the sense that again, it's corridors, light tanks in the middle, tank destroyers to the left in this case from where I am, and heavy tanks to the right on that hill. Or if you're starting from the side I did, it's tank destroyers to the right, heavy tanks to the left, etc., etc., etc. Don't know why I just said that like that. Makes me sound weird. But the expansiveness of the map sort of immerses you in the gameplay more. You feel you could potentially be there. You feel that you just feel that the game has now been worked on more. There's been more care taken on the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, World of Tanks is a game that Wargaming, I think, quite clearly want to keep going, but some of the stuff that they have been doing recently you've been thinking, why are you doing that, Wargaming? Such as adding pointless premium tanks into the game rather than fixing some of the issues that the game actually has. So that was Prokrovka. So we'll go on one more map and then I'll upload this video to YouTube. Let's modify. Which map haven't we been on? We've not been on Steppes. Mountain Pass. We'll go on Mountain Pass. Let's see what this map looks like. I think this will look pretty spectacular as it's very, mountainy. Buildings and destroyed vehicles can block enemy fire. Trees and bushes may conceal you, but will not block incoming shells. Well, if you're trying to block a bloody shell with a tree, that's something I've never even thought of doing, even back when I was a massive noob. Well, some people say I still am, but that's your mind to make up. Trees are good for concealment, yes, but they will never block a shell. And if you do try that, I think the shell that does hit you, you sort of deserve it a little bit. And we aren't loading in. Come on. Load us in, please. It's loading us in quite slowly. I think we're going to get there. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Come on. I know you want to. Yay! Bloody hell. Oh, Jesus. All this used to be white, didn't it? So it's the cable cars that actually look... Well, they're not cable cars, actually, are they? They're coal delivery? So, this is the tank destroying spot, and wow. It's going to be a little glitchy, I think, and for some reason my gun keeps going mad. But that is cool. The mountains, I mean, it's Mountain Pass, and they never really had mountains, they were just lumps. So, this is the back pass that not many people go to, because for some reason everyone forgets that this side exists. I see they've still kept that rock there. They've made it... This is narrower. This is definitely narrower. So this is where you park up and tanks down there. Run at you. This entire area here, the entire area feels narrower. The bridge looks more real. They've made it... There's not as much snow. Actually, there's very little snow. Now, around here, my FPS used to drop dramatically. I mean, it hasn't done so bad. Oh, yeah, the waterfall. Have they reduced the size of that pool? I think they have. Okay, there's more area to fight on now. Is there? Sort of is, sort of isn't. So, the water dropping down the waterfall. Doesn't look overly realistic, but it's a waterfall. It still looks pretty cool. The water actually flowing too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. This is rather steep. When you get into it, you can't get out of it. Cool, a ripple in the water. It definitely feels more mountainous. It doesn't feel... Again, a mountain isn't rounded. And these are certainly not rounded. This rock here has got smaller. Rock is definitely smaller. Can't believe I'm pointing out specific rocks. Is this how sad I am? I know the size of a certain rock on World of Tanks. This is why I failed at getting a job. Until recently I got a job. Happy days. So this is the artillery position here. That artillery like to sit and be pigs to everybody. Wow. It makes you feel... This feels like Austria. I mean... Or Switzerland, or... Just something like that. Is there actually a way up here now? Oh, it's blocked by a rock. Right. So let's see. This is one of the tank destroying spots. Sorry if you can hear my lisp very, very badly, but there's a lot of S's to say, and well, obviously I have a lisp with S's. It's more dusty than before. It's not as snowy. I remember a few years ago watching a video about the PlayStation version of this game with the way the maps were on there, and this is just like it. Well, actually it's better, because on a PlayStation, Wargaming know the capacity of what they can do. They know what the power of the PlayStation. They know how much the PlayStation can handle, whereas people's PCs, a PC is a unique device. It's fragile. It gets offended very easily. So they've had to make it suit for everyone who plays the game on the PC. I mean, my PC is pretty powerful, so can quite easily handle decent graphics, but some people cannot handle the decent graphics. I mean, I used to play mine on a Mac. I used to play World of Tanks on a MacBook before I got my gaming PC, and I had to have everything on the lowest setting possible. So I understand why Wargaming had to do it, but it's quite nice to see finally those people who have got the capability of having the game like this can. And I also think they're trying to make it so that people who can't have the game like this will get they'll notice some sort of difference. Now, I don't know whether you still can or not. I mean, I know they tried to remove a lot of the boosting and climbing areas, but you used to be able to climb up here. But not anymore. Not anymore. They've made it very cliffy and rocky. And all I can think of is bloody You shouldn't say things, should I? I mean, you can make your own mind up about these maps. They might not be your cup of tea. You may never see them on your game because you don't have the capability on your computer to do that. But if you do, why wouldn't you like the maps looking like this? They look realistic. They don't look like they've been drawn by a child. And no, I'm not going to I'm not going to start saying about people's children and things. I remember that got people into hot water. So yeah, these have been today's 4 maps. I wish I could tell you all the ones that I've been on, but because I'm useless and my brain doesn't work properly, I can't remember them all. I can remember Prokrovka, I can remember Redshear, I can remember Mountain Pass and Sand River. That's it, I can remember them all. Yeah! Go on, Mr. Silly Nipples. I think removing the snow has done this map a lot of favours, but again, did they really need to remove the snow? I don't think they did, particularly, but still, that's Wargaming's choice. And has he just gone into the water? Because he's not going to get out of the water again. Anyway, that is it for today's video, and no doubt it's going to take 3 or 4 hours to upload because it's stupid. I appreciate you watching. Please, well, if you want to, subscribe or like the video. You don't have to though, it's only a hobby and I'll quite happily sit here speaking to myself all day. Anyway, thank you for watching and enjoy your day.